My friend had an intimate relationship with his mother, and I would like to talk about this because he told me I could talk about it if he ever passed away. And this morning I woke up to news that he had crossed over to the next life. So, let's talk about this. My friend, I went over to his house. He lived in Knockemstiff, Ohio. Knockemstiff, Ohio doesn't have that big of a population, so anybody that watching this in Knockemstiff, you'll know who it is. So, afterwards, I discover, after arriving at his household, I see that he gives his mom a kiss on the cheek, and I say, oh, that's pretty okay, all right. Most people give their mom a kiss on the cheek, that's pretty cool. Then his mom gives him a kiss on the lips. That confused me a little bit, but, I've seen crazier things. I've been to France before. I know what's going on. So, after this whole debacle happens, he says, hey, man, we've known each other for quite some time. That's not true. I've known him for a month. It's not been quite some time, but men have very intimate connections with people they've known for a short amount of time. Ask any woman on the planet. Now, he said, my mom would be getting down and dirty. I'm thinking he's talking about cooking, maybe even hiking, maybe even gardening, something of that variety. He said, nah, I just need somebody to tell you somebody this because it feels like taboo. Me and my mom, we were very connected. I said, connected? Okay, like Bluetooth? Okay, we connected. Do Siri. He said, no. I said, He said, we're connected, like, I'm with her. After my dad passed, she didn't have a man. I said, oh, hold up a second. Whoa, hold up a second. Whoa. He's telling me some nonsense. He's telling me something that's only known for Alabama. We're in Ohio. I'm really confused. He says, yeah, my dad passed away, and I didn't want my mom to be lonely. I didn't trust no men, so I took up the mantle. I said, okay. Well, I didn't know what to say. I was speechless for the first time in quite some time. For first time maybe in my life, I was looking for words to say because I had never encountered this situation before. I had never seen anybody that was desperately to intimate relationship with their own person that they came from, the literal womb they came back from. He really had a craving to go back home because he was nostalgic for something. He was someplace for 9 months, and that messed me up a little bit. And then he said something that really shook me to my actual core. He said, is it really that wrong to want your mom to be loved by somebody that you know could treat her right? I said, that is I don't know what to tell you, man. That's a sentence. His mom came in. I thought he was playing her. I thought he was pulling some joke on me. His mom. I walked up to her, very lovely lady. I said, hey, you know what I'm saying? Your son is making up crazy allegations and rumors about you two doing things, in the privacy of your own house. And she said, we are. I said, oh, shout out to One Piece. We are? That's crazy. I was sick to my stomach. I threw up. And I didn't even sleep in the same house when I got a motel when I was invited to spend the night. I was a little bit upset. And he said, hey, could you please not tell anybody about this? I said, not tell anybody, but I was in the middle of making a Facebook post. I was about to tell the world I was making YouTube highly about to pay an editor to hire somebody to get this story out to the public, to the masses. And he said, just do it after I'm gone. I said, after you're gone? He said, tell people after I'm gone, because I can't have this be out. I got too many close personal friends. I got too many people that know me. I said, why would you tell me? He said, because I feel like you're easy to talk to. I said, oh, me? Easy to talk to? That's fair, that's valid. So, I've held on to this secret for 4 years. 4 years I've been holding on to this in my entire soul and my body. Now you guys know. Now my entire audience knows. Now anybody who wants to share this video knows. Person's gone now. Mom is gone. He's gone. Doesn't matter to me at this point. That's scary. You're probably wondering, well, how did he pass away? Gun violence? Somebody know anybody gun violence? That's not gonna sugarcoat it. He's walking down the street. Boom! Oh my goodness. Oh, he got acme. He got hit by an anvil going and walked across the street. That was a very comical death. God really plays the craziest jokes on people. I'm not even religious, and God plays jokes. That was just psychotic. I'm not gonna lie to anybody. So when I was 9, I had a best friend who her dad was a pedophile. He took pictures of us, did all this creepy stuff, right? I decided to go to the police last year and make a report. Turns out I was out of the statute of limitations. But since I made that report, another little girl about 6 months ago came to report him. So there was an open investigation. They called me today to tell me that he's finally been arrested. But they found hundreds of videos and photos and want me to come and identify myself or any of my other little friends from my childhood. Always pictured this moment to feel a lot more fulfilling than it does right now. I don't know. Part of me feels like grateful to be validated in a sense, but also so ungrateful for the situation. I don't know how you're supposed to feel about these kind of things, because I don't really know how it's going to feel to, like, see myself like that. If I am there, you know? I always kind of wondered what he had or had done. 'Cause there's some of the memories are blurry. 'Cause there was alcohol given to us. So there's things that I'm kind of like, they're splotchy. I don't really know that I want to know. But maybe I do. I don't know. It's good. He's arrested and can't do it anymore. But it's kind of like, it was always like dissociated in my mind that it didn't really happen. So now in this moment, I'm like, it did. It did really, really happen. And it feels so real. And so, I think I'm still dissociating, but I guess now, maybe, I need to talk to the agent on if I can share who he was for anyone else. But be careful who your children are around. Story time on when I realized my best friend hated me the entire time we were friends. And we were friends for 5 years. Part 1. Okay, y'all, so this was my girl. I ended up meeting her through a mutual friend, and we just clicked. Like, we were really, really cool. That was my girl. And I don't know, we just developed a friendship over time. We would literally hang out all the time. I would literally go to her house every day. I would see her every day. We developed a whole relationship. I knew her mom like the back of my hand. She knew my mom. Like, we were locked in. I would say everything was pretty cool. Like for the 5th year is when we stopped being friends. But them 4 years, the 4 years leading up to the 5th year, I feel like it was pretty cool. Now, I did notice some things about her that I didn't like, but that was my best friend. And one thing about me, I'm super loyal, so I'm not going to stop being friends with somebody when I lock in with them. If, I don't know, like, back then, my love was just real, real, real deep. So it took a lot for me to stop loving you when I already started. Now, I will say, I want to go ahead and point out there's some things that this girl didn't like about me that she used to, like, publicly express to me when we got into an argument or something. And it was that she thought I was bougie. For some reason, she always made bougie comments, like, oh, girl, you bougie, or da-da-da-da bougie. And I used to just be like, girl, I am not that bougie, but even if I was, like, do you, like, what's to you? But anyways, even though she would make weird comments like that, we were still very much best friends, and we had each other back, like, for real, for real. If anything happened, we were there for each other, like, we didn't play about each other. So this is when things started to get strange. So I noticed that she started getting really cool with this other girl. She started developing a real good friendship with somebody outside of me, which I don't care. I'm not a jealous friend. Like, if you got other friends, that's fine. We're not in a relationship romantically, so I don't care. If you got other friends, cool. But you know how you can tell when you meet somebody, you can tell that they already have like a preconceived perception of you before you actually get to know them. And based off of what the person they already know has told them, that's the kind of vibes I was getting. I was feeling like she was getting to know me on one tip, and then also she kind of already has something in the back of her head about me, which I had no idea what it was. And me and my best friend was really cool. Like, we was like this. We was real tight, but then we still had differences about each other that weren't quite like cohesive. Like, I still had my own mind at the end of the day, even though I was a sucker. Like, I gave people too much grace and too much love. Even though I let her get away with a lot of stuff, I still had my own mind, and there was certain stuff I just wasn't doing. So, and I think that's something that she didn't like too. I feel like she was a control freak. Like, if you didn't do exactly what she was doing, she would think that you thought you were better than her, which was weird to me. Because it's like, no, girl, I just have my own mind. I don't think there's nothing wrong with what you're doing. If that's what you want to do, I'm gonna still be your best friend. I'm gonna still be here for you. But that doesn't mean that I have to do what you want me to do. So this particular friend that she started getting close to, they were more similar in like other aspects. Like, for example, I ain't gonna lie, she was the party girl. Like, she used to be outside, she liked to party or whatever. And I'm not finna sit here and act like I was no saint. Like, I partied too, but there was certain stuff I wasn't doing. And no tea, no shade. I didn't even ever judge nobody for certain stuff. Because when I went to high school, there was some stuff. It wasn't just, there was a lot of people that were doing a lot of stuff. But I had my boundaries of what I was and what I was not doing because I knew myself. And that's just what it was. I never judged nobody for what they did, what they chose to do. But I knew what I wasn't doing. So anyway, it started to get to a point where you can tell she would kind of prefer to be with this girl instead of us. So I feel like our relationship started dwindling down a little bit. And also, around this time, I started hearing some things. I started hearing some things. So I'm going to just tell y'all what I heard. So I had another girl that we were actually mutual friends with. She was no longer her friend. And we weren't really that close, but we were close enough for her to like confide in me and tell me something that she had to tell me. And she told me that she heard or she knows that my best friend has been talking about me behind my back, like saying bad things. I don't even know what things were said. I'm gonna get to that, but I just know that some bad intentions and some bad things were being said about me. And yeah. Oh yeah, and I just thought about it, and I just want to make this quick point. It just kind of came back to me. The reason why she was probably calling me bougie was because I wasn't doing certain stuff that she was doing. That's probably where that bougie comment kept coming from. So anyways, like I said, y'all, I used to be passive aggressive when I was younger. Like, I would take a lot, and not say nothing. Now, I'm not saying I didn't feel no type of way about it. I just want to speak on it because I didn't like confrontation. I had dealt with a lot of confrontation in my younger years, and I just didn't like it, and I definitely didn't want to deal with confrontation with somebody that I love so much and already, developed a trust for. So I'm not gonna lie, I didn't end up telling her what I heard. I just kind of let it roll off the shoulder. And also, I be feeling like people be trying to be messy too. Like, I thought it may have been a situation where the girl that told me that information was being messy because she wasn't friends with her anymore. So I'm like, I don't know, like, this my best friend. Like, we still locked. Like, I don't know if she'll be talking about me. Like, I didn't believe it. Yes, I saw weird stuff going on, but I also just know that that's her. Y'all know we are best friends with somebody. You just know their personality. You're just like, whatever. But I definitely was writing stuff off, but I didn't believe that she was full-blown talking crap about me. Like, I didn't believe that. Or at least I didn't want to believe that, cuz... So anyways, I just didn't say anything to her about it. I just kind of let it roll off the shoulder. So I was like, whatever, like. But I did keep it in the back of my mind, as anybody should. I was just like, that's when my antenna started going up. Like, all right, maybe you should start paying a little bit more attention to this friendship because something's going on. Some weird stuff is going on. So I'm not gonna lie, I left an important fact out, and I didn't want to talk about it because this whole thing was just like, I just can't believe that it happened. But also, it was a clear indication on what kind of character I was dealing with when it came to her, and I ignored that too. So I'm just telling y'all what it was. So before she started getting really close, remember how I said she had already met a girl that she was getting close to? When she started getting into the preference phase, like she would rather be with the other girl than me, it was because of one thing. I felt like that. It was because of one thing. And she made me feel bad about it. I'm not gonna lie. So she, like I said, this girl would like to be outside a lot. And I had a job, and I was working a lot. I've been working since I was 16. I was working a lot. Like, I always was at work. I would turn up, too, and have a good time, too, drink, too, and have, I was being young. But I had a job, and I made sure I wasn't putting nothing over my money at the time, because, yeah, always been that. But, this girl, I would know, my best friend, I would notice, like, she would quit her jobs or leave her jobs hanging or like neglect her responsibilities to go and have a good time. And I just wasn't on that. So one time she came to me and she told me, y'all could tell me if I was wrong for this or not, because I don't know. Still to this day, I don't know. She came to me and she asked me to take care of her light bill. And I told her no, because I was like, you've been going outside. You've been neglecting your work. You just had a job. You just quit, for no reason. Why should I pay for your bill when you are not taking care of your responsibilities? And that's just real. Like, I would go through periods of times where I would be a pushover for her and I would do what she wanted me to do. But there was times when I was standing on business like, no, this ain't right. Like, and what I look like, what am I to you? And lo and behold, when I started saying no to her, her energy shifted towards me. And it was just kind of like she treated me kind of like I didn't really I didn't really love her. I didn't really mess with her for real because I didn't come through on this favor, which is very narcissistic and manipulating. But y'all let me know if I was wrong for that, because it's like, no, girl, like, go to work. Like, I'm your best friend. I got you. If you really needed it, if you've been working, you needed the bread. I got you, because she know I have a giving heart, or else she wouldn't have been asking me in the first place. But like, don't take advantage of me. So I started peeping. Like, God started opening my eyes. Like, this girl might be taking advantage of me. But come for part 2, y'all. Story time on when I realized my best friend hated me the entire time we were friends, part 2. So yeah, I left off on when she wanted me to pay her bill and she got mad at me when I did it. And I'm just like, yeah. So that whole thing happened. That's when she started really, really hanging out with the other girl more than me. And, yeah, so stuff started getting real bad, y'all, in our friendship. I feel like she was just at her all-time rude as hell to me. Like, like, the stuff that she would do and say sometimes when she got upset was crazy and unacceptable. But like I said, y'all, I'm like I mean, loyal to the soil, too dang loyal to the soil, that I allow a lot of stuff. And this is when young Jada was like getting into makeup. So I was starting to do my own makeup when I started really liking makeup. I think I was like 17, 18. That's when I started really getting into makeup. And I used to go to her and I used to tell her, like, friend, like, I want to be a makeup artist. Like, I want to do makeup. And she would say stuff like, oh, I don't need makeup. Oh, I don't have to wear that. And why you got all that makeup on? And like, she would just be like, starting to be just mean to me, like rude to me. And it really, mind you, this is 5 years of us being friends. This is 5 years in. She started being real ugly towards me and staying hating. So I'm not cussing y'all. I'm intentionally not cussing. So yeah, but she was just saying, hey, and stuff towards me, and I'll just be like, I would let it roll off the shoulder. Like I said, I was being passive, but stuff was piling up and building up. So yeah, time was just going on, and I realized that she was just really becoming so rude, so ugly, so nasty towards me. Like, the love was no longer there. Like, she just didn't like me. Like, it was just at the point where I really just don't think she liked me. So yeah, y'all, I'm not gonna lie. At this point, I'm starting to be hurt. I'm starting to get hurt. Like, 'cause it's starting to sink in. Like, okay, y'all are about to, like, no longer have a friendship. Like, she obviously is switching energy towards you. Like, it's pretty much going to be wrapped. So that's starting to really hurt my feelings because, like I said, this was my girl. And also, I let it go on for so long because there was periods of time, like any textbook narcissist, they would come through and be like, show you that they really care about you and they really love you at times. And then they'll also do terrible things towards you. So you don't know, like, well, if you're in a space where you can't differentiate the two, you're gonna hold on longer than you should, and that's what was happening. Like, there was time periods where she really showed up and showed me that she was a friend to me, like she actually really loved me. But then there was times that she showed me like very unacceptable stuff, just like not support, just like she did when she was not supporting me, saying hating stuff. First of all, the bougie comments would have been it, because it's just like, do you So you basically saying you don't like my personality. You basically saying like yeah, you don't like my personality. That's basically what you're saying. And also, you know when you just will get a shirt off your back for somebody, like I had that kind of love for her, so it was really, really hard to accept. Like, y'all, Jamie, you got to wake up. Like, you got to let this go. But I still didn't, y'all. I still was friends. I still was letting stuff roll off the shoulder. I still was, sticking beside her. But this is when we're getting to a point now. This is when I finally realized that everything that was happening was true. Everything I was hearing was true. And this is when I finally figured out her character. Let me tell you what happened. Okay, so one night we're on the way to her house. I had a car. So we were in my car. So we were on the way to her house. She was into it with her mom really bad. So they were arguing really, really bad. And, but she had to stop by the house to get something because we were going to another friend's house after. So we stopped by. But when we stopped by and we walked inside, she into it with her mama bad. Like they going back and forth. They arguing really, really bad. They into it. And I was starting to feel uncomfortable. I'm like, maybe I should go sit in the car. But honestly, this stuff happened so fast. Like, so as they were getting into it, um, we're about to leave. Now she's like, oh yeah, let's go, Jay. Let's just go. Let's go. We out of here. We finna go. We leaving. Then why her mama come out and say this, y'all? Her mama said, well, we was on the way out the door. She said, I don't even know why you're with Jada because you talk about her like a dog. You don't even like her. Oh, really? So first of all, it was one thing to hear it from a rando girl or one thing to peep energy that I didn't know, conspiracies. But coming from your mama? Come on now, girl. Y'all, this hurt me to the core. I was so hurt when I heard that because it was confirmation of everything that's been going on. And it was just like, that was undeniable proof. And I had already been telling God, like, God, I know I see signs. Y'all, you know this is my best friend. You know how much I love her. I am not going to leave her alone until you show me a clear indication that this girl is not for me. And he did. The best indication because it's coming straight from your mother. From your mama mouth. Yo, I can't believe this. This was insane. And let me tell you what happened. So after she said that, after the mama said that, the girl, she was rushing out. She trying to rush it out. Nah, you know what? You don't even know what you were talking about. And she kind of brushed it to the side, and she was like, "Come on, Jada, let's go. Like, let's go, let's go." And in my head, y'all, I remember just shutting down. Like in my head, I'm just shutting down because it was just like that was it. That was the sign that I needed. This was the indication. This wraps. Me and this girl. This is done. Like, it's raps. And one thing about me, y'all, I'm a tourist. So when things are raps, they're raps. Like, this was it. It was like, y'all know that Mariah Carey song? It's a rap for you, bet. I was playing in my head. I'm like, it's a rap. But I'm quiet. I'm so quiet. Like, I'm not saying anything to her. I even get in the car with her. Like, I even take her to the next place, y'all. Because in my mind, I'm like, this is the last time this girl gonna hear from me. I've been taking nothing but disrespect from her. I show her nothing but love. You know, I've been hearing a lot of stuff about you. You've been treating me crazy. And you got the nerve to talk about me, not only to other people, but you talking about me in front of your mother when you know that I pull up and I be with you all the time. Your mama see me all the time. Like, you. So yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I think she thought that was like, I didn't really pay attention to what her mama said. I think she really thought that was like a, nah, she just, she kind of was making it seem like it wasn't that big of a deal because I ain't hear her trying to explain herself or try to like follow up what her mama was saying or nothing. She just kind of let it roll off. And I'm just like, little does she know, when I drove her up, which was another nice thing that I didn't have to do, but I knew silence. One thing about me, baby, I'm gonna kill you with this silence. I already knew what I was gonna do. It was already a wrap. So, I ended up taking her to the place. She's talking to me, venting, and I'm just driving. I'm just like, I'm not saying nothing. I'm quiet because I'm like, yeah, this is it. Like, first of all, I'm hurt. I'm super hurt because she don't know like how much stuff I've been keeping in and how much benefit of the doubt I was giving her. And hearing that was devastating to me because it's like, I really gave you the benefit of the doubt, but here we are. So she just, yeah, so we end up pulling up to the next spot. So I drop her off. She like, oh, you're not coming? I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm like, no, I want to go home. So she like, okay, I drop her off. Yeah, that was the last time I saw her. The last time. I promise you. Like, she could not get through to me, like, at all. She called, I blocked her. She was messaging me, blocked her. Like, it was silence. Nothing. She never heard anything. To this day, y'all, she never heard anything from me from that night. And I really don't even think she knows. That's why. I never followed up with her. Like I say, y'all, I am retired from being passive aggressive, but it was so old that I'm like, I'm not finna rehash and tell her anything other reason. I just let it be. But I should have told her straight up, like, what it was. I should have let her know, like, girl, this is what been going on. I've been hearing nothing but bad things that you've been doing to me. You've been doing me dirty, and I did nothing but show you love. Like, I should just gave it to her and let her know because she's a victim. So she was thinking that people doing stuff towards her. She probably think I was acting weird towards her. Like, no, girl, like, you don't even see yourself. Y'all, but come to the last part 3, so I can tell you how she showed her even more after I caught her and I let her know. So come in part 3. Storytime on how I realized that my best friend hated me the entire time we were friends. Part 3. Final part. Okay, y'all. So after I cut her off, haven't talked to her, like left her, literally ghosted her. And I heard what her mom said. It was raps for me. I had no interest on being friends with her and talking to her. But let me tell y'all how she showed her A. So this girl, because she couldn't get through to me, she started resorting to social media. Narcissist textbook, duh. Like, this is stuff that could have been calculated, but show you how lame people is too. Like, what? But she get on social media, she got on Snapchat, and she starts calling out my full name, Jada, and my last name, Q. She starts ranting about me, y'all, like, full-blown blast. First of all, she knows that we have mutual friends. She knows that I pretty much follow the same people she follow. So you putting everybody in our business, for one, which I didn't do, and I had a right to. And it's like, it was just like, whatever. Like, at this point, this girl not surprising me. Because it's like, you did that, you not surprising me. You just, But anyway, she on there, she like, you, that's why don't nobody like you, you bougie. That bougie word, I don't know. She just, I guess I was just so bougie. Like, she just, anyways, she like, guess why nobody don't like you, nobody likes being around you, bougie. She's trying to put me down. It's like, I ignore her again. I'm like, girl, I remember watching her at work, like, girl, okay. Like, and you still not getting a reaction out of me. You haven't heard, she still hasn't heard from me. Still ignore her. I'm just like, I'm done. And you doing all this just really shows your character. Like, you showing your, for real, like, for real, for real. So I'm like, I ain't saying nothing. I'm gonna let it ride. So she started doing other stuff, psychotic stuff, like popping up at mutual friends' houses that she knew I was at just to see me. And she did it at one time. She walked up to me. She was like, hey, Jada. And I'm just like, I ignore her. Like, I act like she wasn't there. I didn't say anything. That's her. I'm just looking at her. Because you're crazy. Well, I know why she's losing her mind. Because she just lost the realest friend she ever had. Like, girl, you know what kind of friendship we had. You know who was locked in. You know that I loved you. So, I'm not perfect. But she know that I was her real friend. She know that I loved her. Period. She know that I'll be there for her through thick and thin. You know, right or wrong. And even, I mean, of course, like I told y'all, them times where I set a boundary to her, that still should have been a healthy situation and healthy love. But anyways, she know my body. So I ended up just like, and she ended up leaving because after she was so crazy, y'all. She did a lot, but I straight up was just looking at her like, you're not getting a reaction out of me. I'm done. You're not getting an explanation or reaction. So whatever, that was 1.2. And then it just came to a point where she ended up just having to accept it because she wasn't getting a reaction out of me. So we just never were friends again. And thank God, because but I was grieving. Like, I was really, really grieving that friendship. That's a thing. Grieving friendships. I was grieving because it's like I just lost my best friend of 5 years for her technically not liking me, totally turned on me, not even expressing to me the changes that she didn't like about. I don't know. I just feel like you, at this point, you just didn't like my character. Like, you just didn't like me. Or you was just a user and a master manipulator. And yeah, she was a narcissist. And I'm glad that God broke me away from that friendship. But that really messed me up. Quite frankly, traumatized me. Because it's like, how could you love somebody so much and willing to get the shirt off your back for somebody and they treat you like that. That's very, 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 very traumatizing, and people don't talk about it enough because I had to really heal, and I didn't have a healthy friendship with a female in a while, a woman in a while. So I had to really get myself together and realize, hey, everybody's not like that. Everybody doesn't have ulterior motives. That was just her. Now I had to heal. Now I have wonderful friends now. They would never do nothing like that. I mean, I still, unfortunately, don't put that past somebody, but I have better discernment. But if you're dealing with something similar or you have went through something similar, I'm just letting you know you're seen and you're not the only one that dealt with such craziness. And I hope that you heal from it, and I hope that you didn't let it take away the goodness of who you are for someone else that can really actually be your soulmate friend. And if you're dealing with it currently, cut them off. Do not tolerate bad behavior or bad treatment to your friends. Don't do it. I don't care. Best friend, whatever. She's giving you size and she don't like you or she could be a friend of me. That's dangerous nowadays. Let it go, because you don't know to what extent these people will go. It's devils everywhere, and you don't want to be caught up in that. So if you, or speak up. Speak up for yourself. Let them know, and they'll tell you everything that you need to know. So I love y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this story time and the glam. Period. See y'all. I cannot make this up. I cannot make this up. Imagine first date with a man. You hit it off. Great energy. Date runs long. And you have a graduation party to get to. So I'm like, you know what? Okay, you want to come with me to my homegirl's graduation party? He's like, okay, yeah, sure. But I want to show up empty-handed, so we stop at the Target. Another green flag, because we've been hitting it off. Okay, great. We stop at Target, he gets her a card, we go to the graduation party. I introduce him to my friend. Cool. We go to my car. We're getting into my car. He's saying like, oh yeah, can you drop me off at the mall, like whatever. Fine, because he allegedly Ubered an hour to get to me because he lives far out, not in the city. This man gets in my car. All of a sudden, a woman comes up out of the blue. I don't know where this woman was. She comes up and she yanks open my passenger side door. She's like, what the F are you doing? Get up. Come with me right now. Come with me right now. Get up. Get up. You're coming with me. At first, I thought she was joking, and at first I thought it was like she saw him from afar, I thought he was fine. Came to the car, was like, you're coming with me, because he was just like, chill, chill, chill. So I was like, oh, okay, that's cute, like, he's fine, okay, period, sis, but like, not too much. But then she gets rowdy, she's like, get out the car, and yanks this full-grown size man, and yanks him out the car. So I'm like, oh, y'all know each other. Takes him out the car. Bella, my car, is here. Her car is here. I'm T-boned in. I cannot move. There's a car in front of me. So all I can do is sit and look in my rear view at her beating. Just beating his ass. Just beating his ass. And I'm like, I turn my music down so I can hear what's being said. I can't hear nothing, but just going. And I'm like, what the heck? I didn't have the word, I know the words, it happened so fast, and I cannot move. So I'm sitting here, waiting for her to finish his beating. Finally, they start to back up. They pull up beside me. I'm looking like this. And he goes, and they drive off. And I just didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Because clearly that's your girl? We talked about cheating. We talked about red flags. We talked about green flags. He had passed a lot of, he had a good head on his shoulders, I thought. We talked about cheating in 30 minutes. We talked about emotional versus physical cheating. And she picked him up and yanked him out of the passenger side. And they drove off, and then he texted me, what are you doing? What am I doing? I'm coping. I'm done with men. Especially light skins. I can't.